Okay. So I think we'll go ahead and get started. Every time I want to get started, I get a ding. So I guess no time is better than now. So we'll go ahead and just get started. And if people continue to chime in, we'll just continue to let them chime in. Later on, I'm going to bring Sarah Lahey, who is my personal upline, and she is a double diamond, and she is going to join in on the call in just a little while to let all of you know how she has become so successful and how you can promote in 10 days. Basically, just to give you a little background on me, I'm currently a Ruby. I've been with the company for almost 3 months now, and I am actually in place for Diamond this month, so I'm very excited. And I just wanted to give everyone a few tips on how you can promote in 10 days. So one of my absolute favorites, first and foremost, is actually blitzing. And as you guys have probably heard it 1,000,001 times, blitzing is a huge part of this business. And first and foremost, I would just like to say you don't have to take blitzing outside of your normal daily routine. We want you to use blitzing as not something that necessarily interrupts your day-to-day life, but something that you actually take and incorporate into your day-to-day life, whether you're going to Walmart or to the gas station or, any and everywhere that you're going, to the mall, to the kids' daycare centers. You always want to promote your business by blitzing. It's always been a big thing in my success and as well as Sarah's. So that is my first tip. Secondly, a lot of people here post on Facebook, and I have noticed that a lot of people tend to steer away from posting in groups or on certain sites or in classified ads or things of that nature due to the fact that other people in the same business are posting there. Do not let that be a deterrent for you to actually post there as well. Because in most cases, there is always someone that you know that person does not know or is not necessarily comfortable with ordering from. So the more that you post, nobody really knows if you are in the business if you are not consistently posting. My third thing would actually be if you actually think negatively, you'll receive nothing. And in thinking positively, you get everything. And in that sentence alone, it's basically there is power in your attitude. There is power in the way that you are perceived or coming off to people. So, people feed off of positivity just as well as they feed off of the negativity. So always be positive. You actually want to treat every single day as if it is the last day of the month. A lot of people wait until we get into this crunch mode or until the 15th and after and say, okay, we're at half mark here. Let's go ahead and really start working the business. We encourage you to actually work the business every single day from the beginning of month until the end of month as if it is the last day of the month. Also, to all of our distributors, it is very, very important that you encourage your team to actively work the business. Because no matter how you look at it, you may think that you can do it on your own, but unfortunately, without your team, you can't really get that far. You really need your team as a support system, as people who are actually actively working the business. Consistently call them and see if they want to go out blitzing together, or see if there is anything that you can do to help them be successful in their business. Because ultimately, when they become successful, you become successful. One of my favorites is actually prepare for a letdown, but not for a failure. And what I mean by that is you're always going to be let down in one way or another, whether it's a potential distributor or a potential loyal customer who says, I'm going to sign up next Friday. Oh, no, I'm going to sign up next Thursday. And then it becomes next month. And then it becomes the next month. The best thing you can do for you and the business in itself is move on. Just because you were let down by one potential does not mean that your business is a failure. It just means that you are to go on to the next. and continue on like you have been, and I guarantee you will become successful. Another thing is to actually contact your loyal customers to discuss distributorship. A lot of people don't understand how relatively important that can be for your business. When you actually contact loyal customers, it's really saying something about the distributor that you are. It's showing that you care. You want to know, how their experience with our products is going, and, how they're doing, and if they need anything, or if you can make any recommendations for additional products. And then, when it starts getting closer towards that 3-month mark, or even before then, you may want to discuss with them how you're doing as a distributor, because you never know unless you speak with them if they are actually interested in joining the team. And no better person to actually join the team than someone who has tried the products before, So LCs are probably my number one who become distributors. Next is your word is your bond. And I truly believe in this. It is very important for you to keep appointments, keep party dates, etc., with your potential distributors, with your potential loyal customers, with friends, with family. Be very professional in the manner in which you're handling all of your business, due to the fact that rather they are family, or rather they're friends, or rather they're just someone that you just met. They're going to look at you as an example for the business. And if you're consistently canceling appointments, consistently canceling parties, without a good reason or a very valid reason, they're really not going to want to deal with you as much. Even if you have an emergency come up, see if you can have someone on your team potentially go and, run that party for you. So that way your potentials see that you made an effort to make it there. Next, I always like to talk to my distributors about charting. Charting is very big on my team, due to the fact that I want them to have goals, whether they started yesterday or they started 2 months ago. Every month they should be charted to something, because when they're not charted, it just makes it seem like they're working towards something, but they really don't know what they're really working towards. So it actually gives them an incentive to see what they're actually working towards. So I found that has worked very well for my team as well. And last but not least, out of my tips on how to promote in 10 days, is just do it. And I know that is a lot easier said than done, for those of you who are actively working this business. But in actuality, when you say to yourself, I can do this, don't go into a party or to someone's house or even assisting someone saying that I know I'm not going to get this person. Say to yourself, I know that this person is going to sign up. And that's because I'm confident in our products, and I'm confident that I can do this, and I can, help them see exactly what our products can do for them. And I've seen this posting on Facebook time and time again. I can't recall who's saying it actually is, but it says you can't make excuses and money at the same time, so pick one. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to let you ponder on what you're going to pick. Are you going to pick excuses, or are you going to pick the money? With that being said, I am going to go ahead and introduce my upline, Sarah Lahey. She is a double diamond, and she is in place for a triple diamond. So, Sarah, can you go ahead and join us on the call at this time?
Hey, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Hey, everyone. This is Sarah. I am so excited to be on this call because I've had a lot of messages and calls lately from people who want to know the fastest way to promote by the end of the month. And so when Deidra asked me to be on this call, I was very excited to make that happen. So some of my tips are going to be kind of repetitive, a lot of the same things as what Deidra was just discussing. But these are all things that I do and that I always encourage my team to do. Number one is make your 100s list. If you don't already have that, that's definitely something that I would encourage you to get done by tonight, actually. And this can be anybody. It can be somebody that you know really well. It can be somebody that you don't know. It could just say, your mailman or cashier at Walmart. It doesn't matter. But start going through that list and call a minimum of 10 people. You have 10 days starting tomorrow till the rest of the month. So you can call 10 people each of those days and tell them about what you're doing. First thing you should do, ask them to join your team. If they say no, that's all right. Ask them to be a loyal customer. Talk to them about some of the products. Ask them what their goals are. Suggest certain things that would be a good fit for them. If they say no to that, that's all right. Ask them to host a party. It's a great way to earn a free wrap. If they don't want to do that or they don't have time to do that, that's okay. Ask them at the very least to share your Facebook post. That way all of their friends are going to see your post too. So it definitely spreads the word for you. Another one of my tips is to follow up with all of your potentials. I keep a constant list going of anyone who's expressed interest to me in the opportunity. Another thing that I do is I look through my old Facebook posts, and any posts that I've done on Facebook regarding the opportunity, I'll check and see who has liked the post, but who has never commented or sent me a message about it, and I'll go ahead and send them a message, because a lot of times people are too shy or nervous to actually ask you, but you know that they're watching, so it's usually a good idea to go ahead and send them a message. If you feel like you don't have any potentials, I know that has happened to me a couple times where I feel like I've gone through everyone on my list. Something that I really like to do is I go through all of my old text and Facebook messages, because sometimes I forget about people who have messaged me in the past, and I have found new potentials that way, where people who I might not have heard from in the past several months, and I definitely follow up with them. Another thing that I do is every time I wrap somebody, I always text them their before and after picture right after I unwrap them. And so I keep all those text messages in my phone. And so what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll resend them their picture. And I say something along the lines of, hey, let's do this again, or do you remember this? Or I'll say, let's get you started as a loyal customer so you can save some money. And I've gotten many loyal customers months down the road just from sending that message to somebody that I may not have heard from in a really long time. So follow-up is definitely key. Another big thing is when you go to wrap somebody, or when you are doing a party, go into it, like Deidra was saying, it's all about the mindset. Go into it assuming that the sale is going to happen. One thing that you might have heard in the past it's a line that I really like to use, and it seems to work. When you're unwrapping people, don't wait for people to start filling out the order form or to say that they're going to order. Just ask them. Say, so do you want to be a loyal customer, or would you like to be a distributor? And leave it at that. They're going to, they're going to tell you what they want to do, and when you ask them using that verbiage, they don't really have the option to say no. Another thing that Deidra said, I definitely agree with, just stop making those excuses and just get out there and do it. Make that decision that you will promote. It's definitely all in the mindset. As far as, staying connected with your downline, I know it's another thing that Deidra said. Definitely, do whatever you can to keep them motivated and keep them charted. And one thing that I always do is, if I see, when I update charts on a regular basis, if I see someone's, only 2 or 3 distributors away, or maybe only some volume away from a promotion, I definitely will get on the phone and I'll call them. And so I think that's definitely something that can get those distributors motivated if they're not really doing as much as they could be. Definitely blitz everybody, everywhere you go. I had a dentist appointment for my kids, 7:30 this morning. I went in, checked in, I blitzed the receptionist, and I ended up wrapping 4 of the ladies there. I signed 2 new loyal customers, and I have a potential distributor, all by 8 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. So don't ever not blitz somebody just because you're scared. When I first started, I was scared to death to blitz people. It was the scariest thing in the world for me, but I made myself get out there and do it, and it's definitely paid off. As far as hosting or finding people to host parties, I feel like sometimes I have those lulls, and I feel like nobody wants to host a party. What I started doing when I blitz somebody, if they are showing interest in trying a wrap, I don't ask them, I don't say, do you want to host a party? I just say, you should host a party. When you word it like that, it kind of just makes them think, oh, yeah, I should host a party. And just in the past, I'd say 4 days alone, I've booked 9 parties just from using that line. So it definitely seems to be working. So I would definitely suggest trying that. When you sign new distributors, talk to them about that booster kit, the mini booster kit and the big boost. Some of you are newer, you might not know. That big booster kit is 400 BV. So if it's the end of the month and a new DT that you sign up gets the big booster kit, they're going to be automatically qualified for you to promote if you're just counting on volume. So that's a great way to go about that. And my last and I'd say one of my most important tips that seems to really work as far as being short on volume for your promotion is what I do is I save all of my personal orders until the end of the month. My auto ship is set for the 1st, and I do not order anything else the entire month until the end. And I wait until the 29th because all of the auto ships run by the 28th. So at that point, by the 29th, you know where you're going to need volume. And so if you need product, if you need wraps, or you need, whatever supplements that you're using, you can place those orders, and you know exactly where to move them to based on where volume is missing. And I think that's about it. I know Deidra was going to do a question and answer session.
Yes. Okay, so what I have recently done was I had put something on Wrap On. If any of you have questions, please go ahead and feel free to ask them there, and I will go ahead and question Sarah now. I do have a few questions that were sent to me via email, so I guess we'll go ahead with those first. One person wants to know, she says that she is having such a difficult time getting distributors. She wants to know how you do it so easily.
It's so funny when people ask me that because I feel like I have a hard time signing up distributors, especially my first few months. Really just keep it so simple. I learned the hard way that I gave way too much information. And so I really, even now to this day, I have to really just, stop myself in the middle of when I'm talking about it because I will still overtalk it. So just keep it really, really simple. I just say something along the lines of, this is what I do. I wrap people, I have fun, and I make money, and I get to change people's lives physically and financially. Keep it, I always say keep it ASAP, as simple as possible. If they ask questions, then answer them, but don't give them too much information all at once.
Nice. Okay. And then the same person says, how do you encourage people who live far away to join your team?
It can be difficult. I recently had a girl sign up who lives in Canada, and I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and this is a girl who I don't even honestly know how we met on Facebook, but we started talking, and for the longest time she was thinking about it, since last summer even, and she was just so insistent on, having somebody up by her or near her that she could meet up with and have for that local support, and I just told her, look, like I came out to Phoenix, or I was in Phoenix, and my entire upline is in a different state across the country. And so yes, I had their help over the phone and online, but I kind of had to do it myself in that same aspect. And that seemed to do the trick. So I really feel like, if you're open to phone calls or video chats, or I like to tango with my long-distance distributors, anything like that, conference calls like this are great. But we have those group pages there for a reason. So I feel like if you just let them know that you're there to support them, that you're there to answer their questions anytime, then that definitely makes a big difference.
Okay. Next question is, do you ever feel like you are stalking someone? Like you just not giving up on that person and they just feel kind of like you're stalking them, so to speak?
As far as like following up with people, trying to get them to sign up?
Potentials, yeah.
Yes, I definitely do. I felt that way with Ashley Mergel, and she's a rock star. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a fine line between hounding somebody too much and just enough. So, I do try to, pace myself when talking to somebody. It depends on how much interest they've shown and how much I know the person, honestly. If I know somebody really well, then I'm not going to feel bad about hounding them all the time. If I think that it's somebody that would do really well. But if it's somebody that I don't know, I might follow up with them, once a month or something, or every few weeks or something like that.
Absolutely. Okay, and then someone wants to know, well, they're saying a lot of potential DTs don't like the pyramid systems. What do you say to change their minds about that particular aspect of the business?
There's a few things that I say about that. I ask them where they work. That's the very first thing out of my mouth when somebody says that to me. And, pretend they work at Walmart. And then I say, okay, so you're an hourly employee, and above you have, the front or the shift managers, and then you have, the front end managers, like the department managers, and then you have the assistant manager, and then you have, the store manager. And there's fewer and fewer and fewer as you go up those levels. Looks like a pyramid scheme to me, right? And then I tell them, it's network marketing, and so it's more like a spider web is the way that I describe it. And one of the big differences between the two is that with multi-level marketing, you can very easily surpass the person who signed you up. And there's room for everybody at the top of this company, and that's my favorite thing about it.
Perfect. Okay, well, first and foremost, I would definitely like to say thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us on the call and agreeing to help out with this call. This is my very first one, and initially it was just going to be for my distributors. When Sarah proposed that we open it up to everyone, I was like, okay. But I think it has been excellent, and I thank everyone for joining in on this 30-minute call. I would like to say, first and foremost, that being underneath Sarah has been a blessing in itself. It has been amazing. I have gone so far in just the short amount of time that I've actually been here. So I would like to say thanks, Sarah, for everything. And
thank you so much. You're going to make me cry.
Don't cry. No crying. We still have 10 days left.
Right? No time for tears, everyone.
So last but not least, it's 10 days, 240 hours, 14,400 minutes, 864,000 seconds. Don't waste another second. Go ahead and get ready to make your promotion. Time is now. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you.